I oh.
Let's see. What's the title of today's stream?
I'm gonna leave that up to Nix and Cal, I think, at this point.
How about just flee with like 7 E's? Or no, canonic. Thematic. Flee with extra flee.
I think that's what I was gonna say. Yep.
It is thematic to the source material. Flee with extra flee.
Flee with extra what?
Flee. Like.
So flee.
Yeah, flee with extra flee.
It's literally flee with extra flee.
It's the catchphrase of the guy who made the source material that the module is based on.
Yep.
Oh.
Anytime anything PvE or PvP happens, he just screams that in a high pitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, I was going to do something cat and mouse, but I think I like that better if it's canonical to the source. Alright. And we're live.
Cool. Well, let's just pick up where we left off, shall we? We find a couple of things here. Cold, snowy mountainside. Karzin, Ergi, just reaching the doors of Deepfrost Citadel. Nyx, a little bit further along the landing, looking down towards forest, towards the ice and the snow in a very steep descent. You find Cal, about 500 feet down the mountainside, hauling tail. Now we're going to do this in a couple of ways. First off, I need everyone to roll initiative. Everyone but you, Remain.
Figured.
Oh dear.
Is it starting already? Yeah, the good Nyx rolls are starting already. Awesome. Absolutely love it. Perfect.
Am I blind? Where's my initiative? Oh, there it is. Yeah, that sounds about right.
That kind of tracks, yeah. Okay. Put that out. Let's bring that over here. All right. As we're traveling down the mountainside, it goes from a sheer snowy field of ice and just perfect powder, especially because it is starting to snow quite heavily as you are traveling down this mountainside. So, I need two things first. Nyx and... Actually, first... Al, can you please give me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Oh yeah.
Both of us or just Cal?
Just Cal for this one, as he's
Okay.
This is for his initial descent down.
Mm.
The setting sun, which is a little bit further off to the west than normal, is glaring off the snow and the reflection of it, and you manage to get a hand up, so you are not snowblind on this next leg of the journey. Nyx, as you're heading, let's start with you. As you're heading down, what are you doing to find, track, whatever? What are you doing to get to the key?
Let's see. I believe Nick's already shifted back when we started last session.
Yep. So you have about 45 seconds, maybe a little bit less, of shifting.
Just
So
wait
you
them for like 2 rounds, maybe.
Right. So what am I doing to track Cal? Well, looking for disturbances in the snow is going to be a big one in this area, considering the terrain. But with the snow starting
It
to
is-
fall heavily,
it is starting to fall heavy, pretty heavy, and even the tracks that you had just seen have now been not obscured, but covered just a little bit by a layer of snow.
okay. Well, pretty steep. He already saw it was pretty steep descent from before the snow started falling, so he's gonna start by trying to follow the downhill more than anything else. At least until it gets more level. And then let's see. Cal will probably be looking for places to hide, I'm thinking. So if there's any good hiding places that Nyx is able to see through the snow, there's going to be that to look for.
So as you start to traverse the mountainside heading down this perfectly flat snowfield, you do notice small divots in the snow. I need you to make a survival check and a perception check. See how well you can track them and potentially start looking for him along the way.
Okay, there's survival and there's perception. And
Okay.
survival is not so good.
That's 1 success and 1 failure. You can tell which direction he's going down, but given another 30 seconds to a minute, these tracks are going to be gone. Completely swallowed up in the new fresh snow. So you start booking it, heading down. Your full now 80 feet of movement.
Right, from dashing.
Okay, we will continue from there. Where is it? There you go. Cal, we come to you. You are hitting a lot more of difficult terrain at this point, with deeper snows and potentially things under the snow. You're not exactly sure what's there. What are you doing?
I gotta go. I mean, I know that I started off real strong and I got a head start, and so hopefully I can outrun his shifting, and that's my only hope. So I just got to keep going.
Go ahead and make an athletics check.
All right.
You are pushing through this now increasing amount of snow. It is freezing. Although you're wearing the slippers, aren't you? Bobber slippers?
Nope.
Oh, who's got
That's
those?
Ergi.
Ergi does. That's
I've got him.
So you're starting to definitely feel the cold in the air. At one point, you step, and the snow gives way to something underneath. You manage to pull yourself back out as a chasm, maybe 3-4 feet across, and heaven knows how deep, opens up before you. With the 17, you leap over it with your momentum, just making it, and continue on. That is 1 success. Okay, Ergi.
All right. As I come out of the Citadel, do I have any idea where Nyx went, or is he too far away for me to tell now?
At this point, you had just come out and you saw him now his red hair descending from the from over the hill, over the lip of the.
About, if I were to guess, about how far would he be from me?
It's hard to tell. He disappeared down, so you're not sure how far he went down. But when he disappeared, he was 30, 35, 40 feet away, somewhere around there.
Okay, I'll use my initial movement, 35 feet, to move towards where I saw him, and then at the end of that, do I see him more clearly?
You do see him. Actually, go ahead and make a perception. First, a Constitution saving throw.
He doesn't need to because he's got the slippers.
This is not for cold.
Oh. Oh.
It is the DC on that. You look down, and just as the sun gleams off of the snow, and you manage to block it enough, you do see him. He is probably 60 feet, 70 feet down from where you were standing right now.
Okay, 1 sec, just checking my rope. Hmm. Okay, never mind. I'll just keep following him, so I'll dash and move another 35 feet toward him.
You continue to run down now. As you start to get into the field itself, the snowfield, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, as it's a not just a combination, or not just a thick layer of snow. Underneath it is kind of packed down and icy.
Shouldn't the slippers negate that?
And they
So it
do.
is-
You're right. You're absolutely right. Yep. So you book it all the way down, or the full rest of your movement down. Awesome.
Sweet.
Person. Ergi just took off and went straight down.
This sucks. Let's see. Can I do something? Anything?
I think you have one spell slot left, possibly.
I don't know if I have any. Let me look. I have none. I am empty.
Perfect.
Yeah, I know. I do have. What the sucky thing is that Karzan would actually just give up and drop out of this because he doesn't want to run. However, he did just realize as he dropped off the horizon that I have a scroll of remove curse. So he technically has the cure right in his hands. So yeah, he's gonna start running down. He's going to. And then he's going to start running.
Okay.
And dashing.
As you come over the lip, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as well, unless you are, in some way, shape, or form, covering your eyes.
Nah. Hey. That's pretty good.
Once again, 15 at the DC.
Alright. How
Um,
far away is Ergi from me? Would, like, 10 feet? Since his movement speed is 5 and he also dashed?
so he was about 10 feet in front of you. You went the full 30 feet. Plus another 30 feet to get over the lip and down maybe 10, 15 feet. He's maybe 20 feet ahead of you now. His movement speed's
Even after I
35.
dashed?
Yeah, he did too.
Well, yeah.
So,
I was just
yeah.
thinking,
He's saying that I started 10 feet in front of you initially, so the extra 10 at the end, because I have an extra 5 feet per.
Anything else, Cardin?
Maybe. What are the rules for casting a spell above your level? That you can cast it through a spell scroll?
It's a DC 10 plus the spell's level check using your proficiency and spellcasting modifier.
DC 10 plus the spell's level.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so like if you're trying to cast a 15 or a level 5 spell, DC 15, you'd add your spellcasting modifier and currently 2 onto your roll.
Hey Ergi, what's your charisma by chance?
Uh, 16, not bad.
Plus 3?
hmm
I'm willing to take those odds. Karzan will shout, Ergi, I have something you could use on him! And I'll hold up the scroll. I probably can't throw it since I used my action to toss. But I will shout that out to try and give it to him because I know he can cast it as well. And he's faster than me. That'll be my
Top
turn.
of the round. Nyx.
Let's see. Let's see. He's not able to see Calsto at this point. I think. Oh, would he have heard anything from Cal in the chasm?
No, he's far enough ahead that I don't think you would have heard anything.
Okay. I think he's gonna continue onwards and downwards then, because yeah, just onwards and downwards.
Full dash.
Yeah, dashing.
Okay, go ahead and make an athletics check for me, please.
$16.
You know this terrain. You are familiar with the ins and outs of the dangers potential to a flat plane of snow. And so you quite easily avoid some of those pitfalls and traps. And you see a mound of snow where potentially a boulder or a tree could be, and you avoid it, trying to get around it. And it's quick thinking, quick movements. And the one thing that drives you is a key. It's up there. I know it is. Gotta get to it.
Must get the key.
All right. Cal, just making it over the chasm.
Yeah.
You are starting to get into more slightly wooded areas. More boulders are showing up. What are you? How are you looking?
I don't think that really changes anything. I think I'm still just booking it towards town as fast as I can, hoping for the best.
Make a perception check for me.
Okay.
You are still just scrapping to try and get over these boulders and these different obstacles. You find at one point there is a rise, and you can see some trees down below. You run over to it, and then you suddenly realize that it drops about 20 feet in a sheer cliff.
That's fine. Yeet.
You're just going to jump off?
Oh yeah, full send.
Okay. Go ahead and make an acrobatics check.
Yeah, that feels right. 8.
Hey. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall and fall prone. This will give Nyx a little bit of extra time to catch up, and you know that. Are you concentrating on something?
No, I just accidentally clicked the button.
Ah, no worries. Okay. That is a fail for... Ow. Okay, Ergi,
Oh, wait.
what's up?
Am I? My character says I am, but I don't know what it is.
It might have been Tasha's from last time.
Yes, I will delete that because that ended.
Okay, cool. Ergi.
Cool. So I'll go and grab the scroll from Tarzan, and then I'll keep running. So I guess that's 20 feet back. Okay, so 20 feet back, 15 feet forward. So I'm negative 5 feet, and I get to go another 35. So I'm a total with dashing of 30 feet further than I was before with the scroll now.
You grab the scroll, take a quick look at it. It's remove curse. You're like, oh, yeah, of course. That's what we need here. And with that renewed vigor, you push forward, not affected by the snow or the ice, as things do get a little bit more slippery. But you find your way a little bit further ahead. Anything specific you want to do?
Just make sure that I'd like to look at Nyx to see if I can tell if he's going to run in a certain direction by his body language. Maybe I could cut and make a little bit better time.
Go ahead and make a. At this point, it would probably be just a perception check. He's a little too far away to make a. What the other check that I can't think of. He's pretty far, and you can see him just leaning forward, tucking into his dash as he rounds a large snow mound, and is now out of sight. Oops. All right,
Sorry.
Tarzan.
Keep it real with you, Chief. Tarzan's done. You just take him off the initiative order. He's heaving and breathing on his knees right now. Just like out of breath from that one small jump, like sprint he had to do after another sprint of running out of the caverns. He's completely spent. You just take him off the mat, man.
Okay.
He's gonna start, once he catches his breath, he's just gonna start making his way down to town.
Okay. So you start the long 2-hour walk by yourself in the snow down. Let's move you over here.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, Mix.
Crazy thoughts. With the snow that's falling, it's not blowing too hard to like blow arrows off of track, is it?
The wind's not blowing, it's just heavy snowfall. So you may get a little less distance than you're used to, but yeah.
Okay. Nyx is going to cast Ensnaring Strike and start shooting arrows and hope that something hits so that he can tell. So if the spell goes off, he can tell that he doesn't need Concentrate anymore and he can go in that direction. That should work, right?
I am probably 500-600 feet ahead at this point. Still.
At this point, you would be more like 430, 440. So it might be out of your range. You're not sure how far ahead he is, but you can certainly try. Definitely give it a try.
Yeah, at this point, just running probably isn't gonna help. All right, so that's his bonus action. He's gonna move forward his 40 feet, and then he will fire an arrow down in the direction that he's been following and that he thinks Cal has been following.
Ryan, you were going to say something?
Oh, I was going to say, if it's a longbow, that range is up to 600 feet.
And Nyx has sharpshooter.
Yeesh.
Really? I thought it was 120 to...
The longbows are insane.
That might be a short bow.
Oh, it's 150 up to 600. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the longbows will mess you up.
Make an attack roll with disadvantage. Actually, first, we'll do this first. So you're good. You're good.
Okay.
So does 11 misses you, right, Cal?
Yeah, and that's if he was even aiming at the right spot.
Right.
You see
so
it.
I don't know.
either way,
Sharpshooter doesn't impose disadvantage, right?
Well, she
from
can't even see
distance.
the target.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you fire the arrow. Don't feel anything. It doesn't seem to hit.
Okay, Nyx will probably change course a tad to... Let's see, is town to the, right of us?
So, yeah, kind of. Right now you're heading down the southeastern side of the mountain, and town is more southwest.
Okay. Yeah, next time Nyx moves, he'll change a tad to the right and try again next turn.
Shots fired. It's now Cal's turn.
Get up and keep going.
Get up and keep going. You don't make it as far as you feel like you should, but you do manage to make it from where you're at to the next major cluster of boulders without issue.
Would I have heard the arrow fly, or was it just not even close enough for me to have heard that?
You didn't hear anything.
Okay, yeah, then just full sprint still. Yep.
Cool. Ergi.
I'll keep following. How far away is he from me now? He started like 40 feet away, and he has 10 feet of dash movement more than I do.
But he also didn't dash last turn.
He did not dash.
Right.
So he is probably 50 or 60 feet ahead of you. But he's also around a bend a little bit, and you're not quite sure which direction he went from there.
Okay, well, I have 70 feet of dash movement, so maybe I'll be able to run into him.
Okay. You book it. Go ahead and make a survival check to see if you can determine which direction he went.
No.
Oh, good.
That's so demeaning. You see two
Die
sets
if I fail to
of
survive.
footprints.
Okay.
You see two sets of footprints. You start following one of them, and after a little bit, you like you should be. I should have caught up to him by now. And you look over, and you see him maybe 15, 20 feet off, arrow or bow drawn, just off to one side.
I'll shout if you allow that.
I will.
Then I'll keep trudging.
Nix, look over. You hear Ergi, and you look over, and he's really close.
Dashing it is, because if Iggy catches up, he has a chance to, like, pin Nyx down again or something.
You continue to book in that one direction. You also notice maybe 60 feet down, a small 3 to 5 foot wide chasm. Go ahead and make an athletics or acrobatics check to see if you can jump over it. With the momentum you have, it's going to be hard to stop.
Okay, acrobatics.
Fall in the chasm.
17.
17, you manage to jump over quite easily. And as you do, you notice not 10 feet to your right, a pile of snow that's been disturbed, and then footprints that lead down into more wooded areas. You're like, got the trail again.
Yep, Nyx will head over that way.
Gal,
You muted.
Full send.
we'll send. I'm going to need you to make a either an athletics or acrobatics check.
8 acrobatics.
Cool. This is rough. Jeez. You find that the trees are getting a bit thicker, but also the boulders and the large piles of landslide material. It's getting worse and worse, and you're having a harder time trudging through it. So you start to jump from one boulder to the next. As you jump to one particular one, you slip and fall down into this little ravine. You take points. Bludgeoning damage. 10 points.
You cut out again at the same spot. 10.
10 points. I really do need to get a mic stand that'll just hold it right here for me. That would be so much easier.
I recommend one of these.
Send me the link for that later. I'm gonna look into that.
How deep is this little chasm thing that I fell into?
It's just a little ravine that goes down. There's some trees up at the top, maybe 10, 15 feet.
Did I leave tracks as I fell in here?
You're not sure. You were kind of more focused on, oh crap, I'm falling.
Yeah, fair.
But I mean, maybe not.
And was that during my movement or during my dash?
That was during your movement.
Cool. I am going to use a prepared action to use an item if I hear Nyx nearby. Or if I feel as though Nyx is discovering my location, and I'm going to settle down and crouch.
Stay put. All right. Ergi. Nyx looks over, heard you, and then started booking it.
I will chase after him.
I'll be back.
Okay. You come across the same chasm. I'm gonna need you to make make an athletics check or acrobatics, one of the two, to jump over it. Oh, okay. You just barely manage to jump over. Your foot kind of slips as you get to the other side, and you almost feel like you're about to teeter backwards into it. But you manage to right yourself. But that is all of the rest of your movement. And you see Nyx another 15, 20 feet down towards one path, one direction down there.
Sweet. What's the range max on this spell?
Much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just tackle him as you cast it.
Does the spell require any components besides the scroll itself?
Nope.
Cool.
Yeah, scrolls fulfill all component and spell slot requirements. It just might not work for you.
Oh boy. Well, I've got some manacles, so if I can grapple him well, then I have a good chance.
There's a 65% chance of that scroll working for you. So I mean,
Nice.
I've got my headset on, and so if Nyx comes back, I will be back in. I'm gonna just start making myself a drink real quick. Oh, he's here. Never mind.
Yeah, sorry, what did I miss?
You're good. I'm just about 15 feet from you.
He's at 15 feet from me.
And it's your turn.
Mutes. Did you try to say something, Josh?
You are muted.
Sorry. You hear Ergi land behind you about 15 feet back, right out on the other side of the chasm, as you turn towards the. Excuse me. Turn towards the tracks ahead of you. My brain's not working tonight. Next, what do you want to do?
Well, he's gonna run another 40 feet in the direction that he saw the tracks going in, and considering the more imminent danger of Ergi catching up, he's gonna turn and try to ensnare him with the ensnaring strike arrow.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
He's pretty irrational at this point, I'm pretty sure.
Do
Um,
you use
doesn't
Ensnaring Strike after you've missed with it? Random
Yep,
question.
it is a permanent buff until you trigger it.
Oh,
As long as I keep concentration.
interesting.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
in turn, you fire, and funny enough, Ergi slips a little bit at one point, and the arrow goes straight over his head, missing by just mere inches.
I don't think there's anything else he can do at this point but keep moving forward. Next turn.
End of your turn. Al.
Would you say the position that I'm in would give me advantage on a stealth check?
Yeah, I would say so.
Right.
Seeing as
then-
nobody's around, you're in a hole, basically, in a little ravine.
Follow-up question. Since the Cloak of Aya imposes disadvantage on stealth checks due to sound, am I far enough away from people to not get disadvantage imposed on me?
Nyx has been waylaid a little bit.
As a resident Utah, snow muffles sound really well.
It does, you're right. Yeah, I would say that's fine, yeah.
Great. Cool. We'll take that 18 stealth. I'm gonna settle into that corner, and just hope to hide.
Okay. You sit still, praying that nothing will find you, or Nyx won't find you. Ergi, you hear as an arrow just barely passes over your head.
So Nyx's movement is 40. So he's about 55 feet away from me now.
Or take you.
So I could move 70 with dashing. Would it be possible to move and then take a running jump at the end of my movement?
I believe a jump takes your movement, correct?
Yeah.
Normally,
The
yes.
DM
A jump requires movement to be still there. So you could like go halfway and then jump your like the amount that you're allowed to jump. Or,
Which means you could
Unless
jump
it's
into
like-
him, but like a shove or a tackle is technically an attack that you need an action for. So you could jump at him, but it wouldn't be a shove or a tackle.
What if my body just ends up colliding with his? I didn't mean to, you know? And I cast it. No, never mind. I'm just going to use my dash and get ahead of him.
you could
Try
if
to force an
you-
opportunity.
If you get just and stay within range, you could provoke an attack of opportunity when he leaves your range to
That's
try
what I was
and
thinking.
grapple him. And then
Cool.
once he's
Yeah,
grappled
so I'll-
on your turn, he'll stay, and then you can cast a spell on your turn.
So I'll dash to where I am between him and where I think he is going,
Okay.
within 5 feet.
You run past, holding your arms out, ready to block, ready to stop him. Nyx. There, he's blocking your way.
I'm so sorry, fella. I just need to get to that key. And he's gonna try firing point blank at Ergi to trap him.
Go ahead and make an attack roll with disadvantage because it's within 5 feet.
Right. Ooh.
Ouch. You turned your bow around and shot yourself.
Yeah, the same
Oh,
thing.
the wrong way. Oops.
um, you have such a hard time knocking the arrow that it just, you don't get enough momentum, you don't get any force to it. It just bounces right off his armor. That was your action.
Okay, well. I guess trying to move around him and try following the trail again.
You step around Ergi. He's just about to get out of your reach.
Okay. Would it require? I guess. Okay. Now it's a gamble. I think I'll go ahead and try to grapple him.
Contested athletics to athletics or acrobatics for Nyx.
Okay. Acrobatics.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Nyx, you try and slide by, and Ergi gets you into a hold and just kind of plants your face into the snow, holding you right there. But that is Ergi's reaction. That is the rest of your movement. Al, anything?
Nope. I've got an existing stealth check. I prepare a standard action for if I believe I'm being discovered, but that's going to be it.
Cool. Ergi, your turn.
It's the moment.
okay.
I don't know if you have the Bestow Curse spell in your inventory. If not, I can throw it out there.
I don't.
Spell scroll. Usability. So that's the ability. So you can make a charisma check to try and cast it. And if you succeed, it works. If you don't, the spell's gone. Like the spell scroll just fizzles and nothing happens.
Okay.
So it'll be a d20 plus 5 for you.
So I have him grappled right now. What would it take for me to put him in my manacles
Oh. That's nice.
for a safer casting?
Second.
The only details it gives is they can bind a small or medium creature, and then it's really hard to get out.
So in this case, let's make it a strength check to see if you can kind of strong arm him in there.
Okay, this is what I'll do. It's a series of steps here. It's going to work, though. First, while I have him grappled, since I don't have to do anything for this but speak, I'm going to command my rope of climbing to tie itself around him.
Ooh, nice.
So that then he is tied up and I can put manacles on him easier after that. And that'll be my action.
That's pretty good.
Let me look here. Okay. Does not look like there is a specific save for that, at least not what it says. Nyx, you find yourself once again starting to be wrapped up with this rope. And then say that second part again. Ergi?
Second part.
Was that
You're
your
gonna use
his action.
You're going to use the manacles
action.
next turn, right? Was the idea?
That's right, yeah. So that is my action and bonus action. Action to start using the rope, I guess, and then bonus action to tell it by itself around him. And then I will still have him grappled myself, just to make doubly sure.
Okay. Next, you find yourself restrained. That is now your turn.
He'll. Well, now there's both a rope and air gate grappling him, huh?
That rope is so clutch.
What's restrained again?
Movement speed is 0, disadvantage on dexterity saving throws, and one other thing that I forget.
Nyx is gonna try to see if he can wiggle his way out of this one. He'll the rope first, I suppose. I mean,
Okay.
I mean,
go
the
ahead and make
ropes.
a strength saving throw.
Oh,
As the rope starts to coil around the bottom of your legs, you are able to kind of pry it apart and get out of it. I'll say it'll try again next turn, but because you haven't given it any other command. But as of right now, you are just grappled.
okay. That strength save was his action, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay. No bonus action. What's the lighting in this area? There's still some sunlight, huh?
There is, yeah. It's
Okay.
late afternoon, so it's still fairly light out.
Okay.
Is that your turn next?
Yeah, I can't think of anything else I'd be able to do without another action.
Cal.
By Cal's count, he's still got a couple turns till Nyx is supposed to pass him by, so he's holding that 18 and hoping for the best.
Make a perception check for me.
$13.
You don't hear running, but you do hear what sound like heavy footsteps. It's kind of up and over the ridge a little bit. They stop. That's all you hear for the moment.
Great. That's my turn.
Ergi. Somehow, he once again managed to weasel his way out of the stinking rope.
Ergi is impressed. Also frustrated. So, bonus action. I'll command my rope to tie him up again. So now he is restrained, right? After that bonus action?
Yep.
Okay, so then I'll put manacles on him.
Okay. Go ahead and make a strength check. See if you can pull his arms together enough to where you can get his manacles on. You. The clink of iron, Nyx, you find not only your legs tied up with this annoying rope, but your hands now are pulled behind your back and fastened with something metal.
And with a great sigh of relief, I'll sit upon him.
And then you feel a heavy land on you as he sits on you.
Yeah, after a little oomph, Nyx kind of lets out a few words.
What language?
Choice words. It's like common. You want him to understand it. No.
Languages. Now, where are those listed at? Oh, there they are. I think Goblin.
Goblin sounds so much worse than it actually is. Goblins don't really know how to curse appropriately, but it sounds awful.
How far are we off
Okay,
from
Nyx.
the beaten trail?
Pretty far. Pretty far off.
Okay, darn. I thought it, like, Tarzan could be walking down and look over and see, like, that situation, but oh.
No, it's kind of around the mountain a little bit, so you'd be heading down to the southwest-ish, southwest, and they're down on the southeast side.
Okay.
Okay, Nyx.
Can he even, like,
Multiple strength
at
checks.
that point, I feel like you're hogtied. Like, there's no actions you can. I don't know.
Technically, there's like a DC 30 strength checks on both the items to escape them.
It's a DC 20
Yeah.
for the manacles, but then there's also the rope. It's like, it'd be combined.
So the rope, the manacles, and Ergi.
And are you
Yeah.
sitting on you? Yes.
Each of which, if you
Yeah,
get
the-
off, he can put back on.
The rope is also an AC 20.
But you can't, like, really attack?
So you can attack it. It has 20 hit points.
Yeah, but
But he doesn't have
when
hands
you
or
are
feet available.
manacled, can you attack?
It's not about yeah.
Because manacles say bind. I want to say you're like.
Well, I will say that Nyx is near despair or hopelessness at this point. I think he's going to make one last attempt to, like, I guess, roll over and see if he can get Ergi off of him.
If you're just gonna roll, go ahead and make a dex saving throw, dexterity saving throw.
A roll, if you will.
Roll them rolls.
17. That's not gonna.
Eric, you make a strength save, or either strength or constitution, depending on how you want to
I feel like
squat
I
there.
feel like you'd have advantage, but I don't know.
Strength?
Yeah.
With advantage?
Definitely. Nyx, you start to shake and try and get out of his weight, I guess, his girth. And no avail. You sit there, and that despair sets in even further. The anxiety is there with the despair, and it's clashing in a way that really is painful.
Nyx lets out a low growl, but he's like, fine, you win. Just please let me at least know the key is safe.
It's safe.
It's safe.
And then Nyx will just sag because he ain't getting out of this.
Should have done this before. Didn't know you had manacles.
Cal.
Uh, Cal is settling in. His plan is to wait about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. If nobody comes, he's actually going to settle in and start playing music to himself for the next hour. Planning to take a short rest in this little chasm he ended up in. Yeah.
You get about 30 seconds into those 2 minutes before you hear the scraping of metal on stone. Clash, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage, please.
It's a me. Just a deck save, you said?
Yep, with disadvantage.
Right. Okay, how do I do a save versus a... there's
So-
the saving throw. Disadvantage, you said?
Oh.
Hey.
You didn't see the... All you saw was a mound of snow. You didn't quite understand that was two boulders sitting next to each other that had a gap in between them, but then had just filled up with snow over time. And so you stepped in the middle of it, and you go head over heels into this, 10, 15-foot ravine down below. Could you roll 2d6 for me, please, Flash?
The dice
Gonna
rolling.
make him
Oh,
roll
right,
his
right.
own damage dice. How cruel a DM.
My damage dice.
So both Cal and Clash take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as this heavy form, this armored large individual slips, falls, and lands on you.
I do need to know before I'm looking up what do I see as I'm like, because I'm crouched down looking up. I would have started getting stuff out of my bags and had like a teacup or something in my hand, and then would have heard him coming. And I would have looked up what did how much did I see through the
I'm
snow
imagining
is
a
really my
freeze frame
question.
of him mid-fall and you looking up in like shock.
A comically stupid grin the whole time.
Is it very clear to me that, like, no doubt in my mind, this is not Nyx?
Oh, absolutely.
Would you
Okay, great.
mind giving us a vocal description for the
Yeah.
Ryan?
As written, so let it be written, he is a 6'1", fair complexion, blonde with a long braid that goes most of the way down his body, in simple chain, aquamarine tabard, and a very, very large glaive. And again, a stupid grin at all times, basically, regardless of pain felt.
It takes you about 3 seconds before you realize you landed on somebody who was crouched here.
Well, a fellow wayfarer.
My
I am lost. I'm sorry, I haven't moved. I'm still just like leaning. I imagine his head is somewhere over here.
Will you get off of me, you buffoon? I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Amazing.
That is what we call not my strong suit.
Enjoy a whole 3 psychic damage, and you will have disadvantage on your next attack roll.
Amazing. The grin doesn't change at all, but one eye just kind of squints a little bit, rolls a bit, and just kind of, you know, on the other side. So, you're also lost, yes?
I know exactly where I am. I'm hoping others don't.
Fantastic. Because
Did you?
again, very lost.
Will you keep it down? I'm kind of hiding here.
My bad. Kind of crouches a little. Where are we? Not any quieter, but a whispery voice.
Okay, first things first.
Hmm.
If a scary-looking ranger drops down in here on us, you need to make sure that he does not get to my person on the order of your life.
Hmm. You can count on me. No rapscallions will get through me.
He is a good person. Please don't kill him.
I will do my best.
Great. We're about an hour and a half, 2 hours walk across country from the town of Hermilton.
Is that where I was supposed to be going, DM? Do I know the
Gosh,
name of that town?
it sounds familiar. You kind of brush past the names on the map. It sounded like it may have started with an H, but in the snow and everything, you may have just heard Ermilton. So it could be the right place. It could be not.
Probably where I'm going.
Well, there's a great tavern there, so I would recommend at least stopping in for the night, if nothing else.
Speaking my language.
And
So,
with that,
yeah.
we're gonna jump back over to uh, Ergi and Nyx in just a second. I need to go. My wife get my kids down. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You're good. Me too.
I mean, pulling out Ensnaring Strike was desperation.
Oh yeah, no, I understand. You could have done a melee attack with Ensnaring Strike, though. Would have been the same.
It would.
Yeah, it's not weapon specific. Live and learn, as they say.
What's not
Yeah.
weapon?
Frenzied state. What was that, Ryan?
What's not weapon specific?
Ensnaring
That
Strike. I'm telling our good friend Nix that
nice.
he could have used a melee weapon instead of a bow to use Ensnaring Strike, but in the heat of
Nice.
the moment did not realize.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's say that reason was thrown out the window a while ago because
Yeah,
of the
no,
whole.
I figured I'd roleplay that.
Curses tend to have that effect on people. Yeah.
It'd be real nice
Yeah.
if we didn't have to use that spell scroll though. Just saying. Carsman was really hating the idea of using our only remove curse spell scroll that we have, a spell that he cannot cast yet.
There's always the alternate way of removing curses.
I mean,
The lethal kind.
I know.
We got any clerics that can do revivify?
We're saving up for it when I can eventually cast it. Could I
Oh,
cast
you're playing
Revivify?
cleric.
I do. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, my character's very
yeah.
different, Ryan, this time around.
Oh, good.
Um,
He sounds like
I mean,
you're
there are.
playing like an old guy.
I am.
Did I catch that?
An old,
Nice.
bitter miser.
He's been around a
Perfect.
while.
Gold dragon
We're gonna get a lot
who
of
loves
oil and
gold more
water.
than anything.
What was that?
A gold dragonborn that loves gold more than anything.
We're definitely gonna get on like oil and water. It's gonna be great.
I don't know. It completely depends on your dynamic with Cal, I think, actually.
Yeah.
Because if you walk into town with Cal and Cal is miserable and you're ecstatic, I may love you. Sorry, that's just how Cal
Well, I'm
is.
always ecstatic, so
I haven't gotten into Carson's beef yet, but
Okay. On the line of the lethal kind of removing curses, there is that reincarnate spell that the druids offered, even if although we don't have the money for that, I'm pretty sure.
We might
Reincarnate.
hard maybe.
What, a fifth level spell?
Yeah, so the druid in town offered us a service that she could cast a basically, do you know the spell contingency?
Mm-mm.
Okay. It's a wizard spell that allows you basically pre-cast a spell on a contingency that something happens that you dictate. So you could say cast basically you cast this spell and then say cast water breathing when I'm underwater and then it'll automatically do that on a trigger.
And it lasts quite a while.
Yeah, contingency is a cool wizard only spell that I know about because I'm weird. But anyways, she basically offered a service to cast a contingency reincarnate on one of us for 1,000 gold, which is
That's not a bad deal.
Service, yeah.
I think reincarnate is. Oh no, it's a 5th level. Okay. That's why contingency can cast it.
Well, not just that.
Does
I
it
mean,
have
it's not like canon. That's my explanation of it.
Oh.
But
It is.
It's a homebrew thing that Josh has invented for this druid.
It would technically work, right? I mean, contingency can cast 5th level or lower spell. Reincarnate's 5th level or lower. It costs 1,000 gold to cast reincarnate. So.
Yeah. So basically, it would be if we were to die in the Citadel, it would trigger.
Actually, wait. No,
if we paid for it.
That's an amazing deal because the total cost of those two spells is 2.5 thousand gold. So.
Well, yeah, there's that, but I mean, she's a druid only. She's not technically able to cast contingency, but it's a homebrew thing. That I believe is in the module that Josh has implemented. So,
We've chatted about it. It's not in the canon module, but he added it.
Oh, interesting.
I can tell you how my druid would cast one of those. He just sit there every hour or so and cast Wheel or Woe. Are they dead yet? No, okay. They dead yet? No.
Is Ryan's camera glitch pixely for anyone else?
No.
Okay, see you in a second.
Oh.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
Love your character, Ryan.
Thanks.
Nothing quite so satisfying as just a barbarian.
Yeah, barbarian energy is always great.
There's nothing quite so satisfying as getting absolutely smashed by a massive chunk of metal.
Or smashing something with a giant chunk of metal,
Well, that's fair.
Right, you are, Harry.
I've definitely stereotyped you as a barbarian in my head now, but
time will tell.
Maybe you're a fighter.
What happen
There's
next?
so many options: barbarian, fighter,
alternate barbarian,
blood hunter,
Barbarian fighter, multi-class. Come on.
Yeah.
barbarian fighter, multi-class, unearthed arcana fighter. I could be a paladin. You don't know.
I guess you could. Yeah, I guess.
Reasonable charisma.
Mm. No, he's a fighter through and through. Just 100% pure.
Do you even know what the rest
generic.
of the party is? You,
No.
Ryan, the player? Besides me telling you I'm a cleric?
Not yet.
Okay. That's fun.
I plan to learn at my character's pace. Uh-oh. Oops.
Right. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Good.
Kids are finally in bed, and hopefully they'll sleep.
Hmm.
You're waiting for Tim?
Mm,
You're in a scene with the others, so you can start without me.
Oh, right. Cool. Yeah. So we head back to Ergi and Nyx.
Sweet. I would like to cast the spell scroll.
Well, the spell scroll, you start reading it and understanding it. Go ahead and make a charisma check. And add your proficiency bonus to it.
Nice. 23.
Thank goodness. At least it worked.
Yeah. Let me.
All right. Are we allowed to know if it would have just faded on its own without this now? Now that we've used it, now that it's over.
short-term curse.
I've so wanted to say this, but I think somewhere in the DM's guide it says that if it was if an attuned magic item is far enough away for like 24 hours, the attunement ends.
Well, I figured that maybe, but that's insane.
Um,
That was Cal's plan.
It's just waited out.
That's why I took it and started running, was to get it far away.
Smart.
as
Josh?
Yeah, sorry, I'm reading. um, Ergi, you hold the spell scroll up. You finish the incantation. You reach down with a hand that's wreathed in blue flame, and you touch Nyx on the shoulder. Flame immediately seeps in and goes out. For a moment, you're not sure if it worked.
Nick, you all right?
Nyx, it was like watching someone else's life, a play, another story. Then somehow you find that you're a part of that story. You are that story. And you're a little confused as to why you are tied up and why Ergi is sitting on you. Although you remember all that happened, it just doesn't feel like it was with your consciousness, with your body. There's a strange disconnect.
Can you please tell me why in the whole world and underworld and above world this all happened?
Yeah. No, I don't know. But do you have any fiendish desire for a certain key?
That's the big key that I started shooting arrows for.
All right, you're good. I'll get up and help him to his feet. Tell my rope to unwrap, and then I will unkey the manacles, but I will stand between him and where he was going still, just in case.
I am so sorry about all that.
Oh, you're good.
It's. I think the feeling kind of started when I finally. Instead of just carrying the key around, I started like tuning into the key, and it was around that time that I started not wanting to let it go. I think.
All in all, you're a very comfortable seat. I think you'd make a good rug. But
Oh, geez, thanks for the thought.
maybe we should go find Cal.
Yeah, I can't imagine this has been nice on him. I mean, that mountainside for a bard like him?
It's cold. All right. Well,
You could shout
you
for him.
seemed to know where you were going.
Yeah, let's go this way. The tracks were, yeah.
Go ahead and make a survival check, Nix.
Da, 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 da. 19.
There's an obvious trail that leads, oddly enough, to the edge of a cliff and then picks up down below. And you guys begin to very carefully follow it for the next little while. Meanwhile, Cal and Clash.
I have a small fire going.
Okay.
I'm in the midst of making tea, and I am
Cool.
telling Clash the story of our party in excruciating dramatic detail. You haven't learned anything yet, despite me having been telling you for 10 minutes what's going on. Unless you interrupt me at some point and ask specific
No.
questions.
Flash is still unmoved, sitting in the same position, just laying on his side like this. Clearly shivering through grinning teeth, but otherwise seemingly unbothered by the temperature.
Right.
Speaking of which, go, since you've been out here for a little while, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw. Clash.
Well, you guys are right next to a fire that Cal's starting.
Even right next to the fire, but he's still laying in the snow.
Yeah,
It's also a small
I'm
fire.
a little cold resistant, but I'm also not wearing any cold weather armor. So
Yeah.
You're cold resistant?
just a little bit.
Oh.
You said con save? Did I hear that right?
Yes.
Okay. Normal disadvantage?
Just normal.
Normal. Boop. Hey, on brand already. Every
Cool.
roll I has been below 6.
You take a point of exhaustion,
Nice.
and you find it quite difficult to warm up, even with this the small cook fire. Whoa.
How do I add exhaustion?
It's the dots
What?
just below your below your picture.
Oh,
Oh, it
exhaustion
might
level
not let
1?
you, though.
Yeah, it's not. What if I hit edit? Nope.
Yeah, we had a bug with that before.
I haven't updated in a while. Might do that soon. See if they fix that kind of crap.
Let's just keep track in a resource tracker. Exhaustion. 1 out of 3.
After a few minutes of storytelling, shivering, and boiling water, you do hear some footprints, some footsteps up above, crunching in the snow.
Do I hear or does he hear?
Both of you make a perception check. Last year's is with disadvantage because of the.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it is.
Show me 2. 13. Oh, I don't know.
Um, Nick, Sergey, I'm sure you guys are not particularly being quiet or
Probably yelling Cal.
you calling out.
Cal.
Okay.
I'm gonna immediately shovel snow onto the cook fire, pull out 2
Seeing,
knives, and shrink back into the shadows.
seeing his panic, I flip up onto my feet and, ready my halberd.
After
Not shrinking into the shadows, I should know.
was it 19? Nix, you follow the tracks up and over this rise, and as you look down, you can see Cal kind of huddled up in one corner, knives in his hands, and another blonde armored figure just crouched down next to him.
Ah, hooligan! You shall not.
Well, unarmed. Sorry about the key, Cal. The Ergi helped.
Yep, he's good. Tarzan had a scroll. He's cured.
Are these the hooligans? Should I run them through?
You should. I mean, Tarzan would have told you guys about the remove curse scroll in his inventory assessment in town, so
Yeah.
you would have remembered we had something like that. Perhaps in that very moment.
These are the hooligans. However, they are good hooligans.
So, am I running them through or not?
Not at this very moment.
May I ask who you are?
End of the day, hooligan.
My apologies, friends. This is Crash.
Flash. Oh,
Sorry,
Crash.
I
Everywhere.
got your name mixed up due to the way that you entered into my little cave here.
Many do. Many do.
Clash, this is Nyx and Ergi. They are traveling companions of mine.
Ah, fellow adventurers from Clash Gorgon. I'm lost.
I can see that.
That is no longer true. You have been found.
Fair point. Fair point.
Yeah, we better get out of this snow like yesterday.
All right. Well, we'll go and find Tarzan. I guess he's probably in town.
If as we walk back, the two of you could stand between me and Nyx, that would be greatly appreciated.
Sure.
Not a problem.
A big splotch over the whole side of my face and shoulder is turning purple. I've got blood leaking out of the left side of my face.
Sure you
Yeah.
Do I have something to?
Just get me to Marvin. It's fine. It's
Marlin.
fine.
Sure?
Look, at this point,
Just get me to what's his face? Marvin the Martian.
Oh, sorry.
Hal would know. I'm just really bad at names.
Karzan, speaking of Karzan,
Hey.
as you are heading down the hill, snow starts to fall a little bit heavier. It's getting cold. But it's a pleasant walk. You stretch out your muscles a little bit from the run, and after about an hour and a half or so, you find your way back into town. And as you were crossing the bridge to head over to kind of into the main portion of town, you turn and see coming out of the woods a collection of oh, my brain needs to work.
Dimwits?
No, I was lumberjacks
Oh.
coming back into town from uh, wow. Sorry, I'm like drawing a complete and utter blank here. One sec. Going back into town after a long day's work. Notes have his name.
What's the name? What's the name?
There we go. You see Varen and Colt leading them, and a limping Sorin following after.
Oh, wait. Soren the Sorcerer?
Yep.
Cardinal
The one who was
immediately
supposed to be the one that was supposed to be reading in the shop.
Kind of.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah. Carson will immediately start walking over that way.
Varen waves. Hey, Carson. How's it
What
going?
happened here?
Oh, there's been a couple of wolf attacks. Just this morning. So Soren offered to help out and scared the wolves away, but then fell and hurt his leg.
Okay.
Soren kind of sheepishly just, yeah, laugh it up.
Okay.
Yeah, you wouldn't happen to have some of that healing, would you, Mr. Carson?
As much as I would love to employ my craft, I'm completely spent for the day.
Okay, no worries. This just means I'll have to sit and uh, continue reading, right?
Yes, you have the day off, I suppose, but it will be coming out of your pay.
That's fair. That's fair.
Carson immediately
Cool.
takes out a notebook, erases one day out of like paid or like adds another day to paid days on his schedule for Soren's like 2 weeks in advance.
Okay. Bolts comes over, put his hand on your shoulder. Hey, don't judge him too harshly. He was just trying to help.
Oh, I'm not. It's very noble of him. And Carson will continue to walk into town with them if they're heading towards the tavern.
They did. Varen and Colt take Soren back to his parents' place, but the rest of them do head towards the
Carson's
tavern.
heading back to the tavern.
Okay. After another 15-20 minutes or so, the rest of your troop makes it down the hill. The rest of you come out of the woods into Hermilton proper. See, specifically, Clash, since this is your first time here, you see a town that is covered in snow and ice. Many buildings are lit, but there are also many buildings that are dark. As you get closer, you find that they are boarded up, and not all of them, but a lot of them have broken windows and things like that. This seems like a town that has seen better days.
I smell adventure here, visibly shivering and shaking at this point.
The weirdest thing, though, is everybody you guys pass. The rest of you are familiar with the people now, and you recognize a lot of people, and people smile and wave. Clash, even with the kind of derelict look of the town, everybody's smiling. Everybody's happy.
Reminds me
And
of all this. I'm waving at literally everybody that passes me by. Finger
most of
guns
them look really
occasionally.
confused,
Yeah.
but a lot of them do wave back. Where do you guys head? The hidden stash? What are you thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go to the stash. Food and drinks on me.
All right.
All right.
All right. You guys head back to the hidden stash. I get to read this again because it's Ryan's first time. On the north side of the river, there stands a 3-story building. It looks like it was built to last, made out of black stone and rough-hewn timber. Outside, the old weathered sign swings in the wind, depicting the faded image of a glorious black mustache.
Would you pull up the map for her, Milton?
Oh yeah, I could do that. Activate. So right here is the hidden stash. Inside the common room, it's illuminated by a great fireplace, and it casts a bright light on the stonework around. You see a collection of people here. Um, most of them are larger and more muscled individuals, rough looking, but still smiling and having a good time. You see a couple of tieflings off to one side at a table. Um, Tiefling women off to one side. You see a halfling on the other side of the bar. What seems to be standing on boxes, serving people and smiling and laughing and talking to people. You see a golden dragonborn sitting at the bar, uh, drink in his hand. Nobody else really sitting around him at this point. Uh, and yeah, the rest of you walk into a busy yet familiar evening here at the stash.
I'm gonna turn to Clash and point to Karzan, the Golden Dragonborn, and say the least and last of the hooligans,
Mm.
meaning least
Looks like
hooligan, not.
many adventures.
Tarzan will turn around. His eyes light up for a second and then furrow. New face in town. Carson's immediately going to size him up. Is he a magic user? What's his deal? Specifically, he's looking to see if he handles in magic.
An insight check.
Could that be an Arcana check?
You can see if he's packing any magic stuff. Sure.
Like magic casting equipment or magic stuff?
Yeah.
Alright. That's not great.
It's hard to tell. He does have a lot of pouches.
He is also notably billowing at all times despite no wind. Just slightly dramatically.
His hair tends to kind of just wave, and he has a cape on that just kind of ever what's the word?
Flutters.
It just flutters and billows in the wind, but there is no wind because you're inside.
As soon as they get within range,
Dirty.
he'll say, "Who's that?"
Clash
This-
Gorgon.
He
Sorry,
fell on my head.
I did.
Did you cast the scroll on the key and he come out?
Yep, we're good. He's safe.
No.
No, to your question, I think they were two separate events.
Yes.
I was
No.
lost in the woods and
No.
probably
Yeah.
dying.
Okay, Ergi was able to use the scroll on me, so
You did.
no.
Wonderful. Okay.
No.
I
And then yes.
was running. I fell in a hole. Decided that climbing out wasn't a good idea, so I tried to hide there. About 45 seconds later, he fell in the hole after me, landed on my head.
Very well hidden. Very good hiding spot.
What were you doing in the mountains?
Walking?
Why?
To get to here? Maybe. Somewhere. Like this. This place will do.
It will do.
Adventure will always find me. For I seek it in my heart.
Tarzan takes a bit of a drink.
Strange lad.
I am gonna go wash the blood off my face. I'll be back. And I'm gonna wander off.
Yes. That's right. Nyx is gonna turn to the bartender and say, food and drinks on all of. Sorry, food and drinks on me for all of them.
For our
Meaning the
Marlon,
five. The five,
Yeah,
right?
and 1, 2, 3. I guess I need something to eat. All 5 of us. Yeah.
Ah, thanks.
Marlon goes,
Cheers.
yeah, I'll be right with you. It's a, isn't it? Why don't you guys go find a table? Looks like Erige's corner is open.
Okay. Without really caring like how much he's pulling out, he's just gonna pull out 6 gold and slap it on the counter and walk away.
Oh, that's fine.
Tarzan, real quick, will swipe. No, he won't. Never mind. Tarzan's not the swiping type. I was thinking about it though.
Does Clash know what we look like yet?
I have not gotten descriptions.
Nope. Okay.
Let's do that real quick while we're gathering at the table.
Tarzan is an older gold dragonborn. Currently wearing a. What is he wearing? Boop, boop, boop. Wearing some fine clothes with some scale mail that has a dulled golden sheen. A shield, a helmet on his side that he's not wearing currently. A helmet that looks very out of character. Well, not, I guess, a helmet that looks very knightly, almost. And yeah, he's a bit older, gruff voice. If you had been here the very first session that we were here, you would have heard his real voice, which was me sick with like the most low, gravelly voice you can imagine, and coughing a lot. But yeah, that's Tarzan
Relatable.
mostly.
Nyx?
Nyx is a well, the more notable thing about Nyx is his slightly draconic eyes and like a couple horns poking out of his head, as well as some, what did I say, silverish, a bit of silver scales on the sides of his face. If Clash were familiar with shifters, then he might be able to tell that Nyx is a shifter, although a slightly odd one. But he's wearing generally like ranger's garb, like he's kind of weathered, like he knows how to be out in the wild. But he also looks sort of young for someone to be adventuring.
So, Ergi?
Right. Ergi is a big boy. He's Leonin, sandy brown, flowing mane, very serious look to him. He is a Leonin, full plate armor. He's a big guy. He's a little bit scary to look at. He might be like, first impressions might be like glorious, almost glowing, but in a dark sort of way, like almost intimidating or scary, but probably not to you. What Clash would see is probably like
Again.
big lion. But, yeah.
Okay.
And Cal, as you rejoin the group after getting cleaned up,
Yeah, so you would have seen Cal before in big, bulky winter clothing with a heavy cloak over the top. You barely could actually see his real body. And so really all you saw was bulky clothing before and a blue face. Now, as he's had a chance to go up to his room that he permanently lives in, up in the top floor of the stash, he has now shed all of his gear, all of his winter clothing, his cloak, everything. And so you see him coming down in blue trimmed, fancy lapel, little like flowery thing, almost like a
Brooch.
necktie, but anyway, something like that. Big frills, lace, whatever. Long silver hair hanging down between his shoulder blades. And he's got a rapier on his left hip, a dagger just below that, parallel to it, that is leaking like white mist coming out of the scabbard, followed by like 3 more knives on that side. And then on the other hip, he's got a glistening dagger that kind of just refracts light, followed by about 3 more daggers on that side. Um, uh,
I'm guessing rogue.
Bard. As
With-
he enters the common room, people are immediately clamoring and asking for stories and for him to tell of the distant lands of his distant homelands and things like that. The moment that he walks into the common room, so
Right.
the energy gets pretty excited as you walk back in. And some notable people, Selena, the druid, flags you down, Cal, and looks you over. Are you okay?
at this
You
point,
look.
all the blood is gone, but there are huge bruises all over my face and
Yeah.
stuff. So, not doing well. No.
If you need anything, let me know. I'm here to
If
help.
if if you happen to have an extra spell slot, a heal wouldn't go awry.
She reaches up and kind of gingerly touches that side of your face and mutters under her breath, and you can feel a warmth entering right there, and the bruises dissipate. You heal 17.
Al is no longer bloodied.
And then Ergi will turn and go, "Oh, Cal, I'm sorry. I've been holding out on you." And he'll cast Cure Wounds. You heal 10 more if needed.
Great, I'm full again. Fantastic.
Selena nods to you, and Garen Wynn gets her attention. She turns back towards her apprentice.
Thank you. And then Cal will go sit down
You're
with the party.
After a few
So-
minutes, food is brought out, and evening is your guys's.
Tarzan will be
The universe tells me you've got a gig. I want in.
You don't even know what our gig is.
That doesn't matter. It's got a vibe.
Carson's swirling a glass in his hand of probably like the equivalent of vodka. Something cheap that does the job. Well, then consider this an interview. What's your story?
Well, how far back? How detailed?
You have 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay. Born in the Emerald Valley. Joined the Valley Watch at 16. Did that for about 10 years. Boring. Didn't care for it. Decided that I wanted adventure, so I put on my backpack and started walking. Here I am.
How old are
Insight
you?
check to see how serious he is.
I'm also doing an insight check.
I'm
Oof.
guessing that answer is going to be 72%, and it's never going to change. Um,
I don't think Nyx is getting anything with a 5.
Carson might get something with a 23.
Earnest to my bones.
Okay, well, that was really just 15 seconds. You didn't really take advantage of your time there.
I'm efficient.
So you
What
don't
could-
even know what this place is.
It was on the map. It looked like there's stuff going on. I think I heard someone in a tavern. I don't really remember. But I think this is where I was going. So, like I said, vibe. I feel it. This is the place.
Well, what
what's
are
the
your
vibe that you're
expertise?
looking? But what's the vibe you're
Adventure.
looking for?
Journey, perhaps a little bit of danger, maybe a damsel, maybe some magic treasures.
Give me your top
I
A
mean,
three
lit.
strengths.
Ooh, lit would be fun. What was that?
Give me your top 3 strengths and weaknesses.
Uh, my biceps and my triceps and my lats, definitely top 3, easy. Weaknesses. Weaknesses.
wisdom.
Fire, probably blades. Haven't been stabbed much, but I'm pretty confident. Uh, magic, brain magic in particular. That one earlier hurt like crazy. I'll be honest.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
On the road, definitely.
Well, all right.
Well, your primary objective here is, to gain experience, to become more familiar with the world, and
A bit
and
of glory, definitely.
and
Yeah.
and glory. So, but really, you're looking for the exposure of the experience, correct?
Hold on. Need to make an int save. Sure. Yeah. Exposure to adventure. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if
Well,
we
it's
were to
very
cut you
fortunate for
in,
you. We are hiring currently for the Fellowship of Fools
Oh.
internship position.
Ship of Fools. I love it. Alliteration, always good.
Kyle's gonna feel a little bad for that, and so he's gonna say, "Great. Could we offer you a 10% salvage, uh, a fair 10% salvage rate, and we'd be happy to have you join."
Whatever.
I'm okay with this.
I couldn't care less what he gets.
It's coming out of Ergy's.
Listen, though.
Carson will down the rest of his drink.
I have one very important condition. This is a deal breaker. I have to, if there is a dragon and a damsel, I'm getting involved. The dragon dies, the damsel gets saved. It's in all the books. It has to happen.
In those specific set of circumstances, I am on your side.
All right.
Your terms
Well,
are
I hope we
agreeable.
don't.
Tarzan will reach out and grab his claw.
So, what's the gig? What are we doing?
You saw that massive manor up on the top of the mountain?
No.
Well, it's
Is
There's
there
a
a
there,
massive
window?
manor on top of the mountain.
and
Okay.
it's cursed.
Ha.
More specifically, the mines underneath it are cursed. So by extension, the citadel is cursed. And we almost died going in there, at
3
least
times.
once.
Twice.
Okay.
I'd call it twice.
And we're not even done with the place.
We barely actually
Well,
got
do
into
you
the
like-
actual mines, and we almost died to Snowman Sorcerer Fiends.
Do you like
I
the
don't know
cold?
what that is, but it sounds fun.
I hope you
Tarzan's going
do.
to quickly excuse himself to use the restroom. He's going to go out. Is it an outhouse, or do we have indoor plumbing? What do we got here?
It's an outhouse.
Okay. Carson's actually going to leave the tavern, not go to the outhouse, and he's going to start ritual casting Detect Magic. And then after the 10 minutes are up, he'll come back in if everyone's still eating. And scan the guy.
I'm wearing. Does it just? I forget. Detect magic
It
just tells
gives
you what.
an aura. So like it'll say I can see your cloak is magic, or I can see your boots are magic.
My cloak is magic, and oddly, the second half of, or not all of it, but a decent amount of my hair from about here to the middle of my back is magic. Of the same magic type. They billow slightly.
Oh no.
Okay.
That's it? That's the only magic things on you?
All I've got.
Awesome.
Nice.
Love it.
Mm.
As you continue to go for
Hal
it.
is digging for every random detail about your homeland that you're willing to share, and he's taking detailed notes on the topic.
Okay. Yeah, I can share. So, hold on. Let me pull up my bio. Make that bigger. So I was born in the little village of Amberton, a lovely little place, sunshine all the time except for when it's snowing half the year. I'm located in a place called Emerald Valley, part of the Kingdom of the Sun. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's
During this, Nix is just going to excuse himself to like put his stuff away and then come back.
I spent the last 10 years as part of the Valley Watch, but in reality, all I did was sit around mostly because, well, little known fact about the Emerald Valley is that there's basically no crime whatsoever. So I got bored, resigned. Here I am.
Is there a
I don't mean to make you
minimum?
world build on the spot, Josh. But has Carson heard of this place with the dealings of the Balloon family?
Yes. Yes, you have. It's fairly far away. Like, possibly on the other side of the continent. But you're not exactly sure. You do know, however, that your family has had dealings with those of this area. And what he's saying is pretty accurate.
Okay.
Sigil is
Although,
a sun on an aquamarine flag, same as my tabard that I'm currently wearing.
um,
Would this location be near my homeland?
would, yeah.
I think, Clash, I should let you know. Kyle is not my real name.
Nickname?
I am facing my own name. I am Corel DL Lorien. I am the son of the High King Erdriel Lorien.
Question. Can I stick to Cal? I'm not going to remember that. I'm sorry.
That is fine. Most people call me Cal.
Okay.
I bring it up because I believe that our peoples have had dealings.
But no, that wasn't like Royal Guard. That's my brother. He's big fancy pants up in the city. I was mostly just patrol guard, some of the villages, watchtowers. I'm not very politically knowledged, if you will.
You don't say. Wow. Expected you to be very.
Yeah.
Your demeanor gives otherwise. Personal takeaway.
Yes, I know. I come across as very well read and educated. I know, but just a guard. Father was a guard. His father was a guard. His father's mother's father was a guard. Brother's a guard. Best friend's a cat and a guard. And my other best
What?
friend's a guard. So, huh?
Like a tabaxi? Or like
No. Oh,
a f-
village Tom,
Guards for
so
mice.
you were
Yeah.
coworkers with a literal feline?
Well, yes. No, he wasn't like officially hired by the guard, but he did a lot for the town, so honorary title, really.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on, adding something to my backstory now.
No reason.
No reason at all.
Awesome.
Honorary Emerald Watch Guard.
All right.
Okay.
It's around this time that whoever would be sitting more on the aisle side than the wall side gets a tap on your shoulder, Cal.
Yep.
Or not so much of a tap, but more of a heavy hand, just kind of resting on your shoulder. And you look, and are even sitting down. You're looking eye to eye with Simeon, the blacksmith.
Hello, Simeon. What can we do for you?
Just want to see how you guys were. You came back pretty quickly. Hope everything went okay.
It was exhausting, but it was valuable.
We
So-
got much information.
Good. Any luck finding Carter by any chance?
We're
No.
not sure.
We're going back.
We found a document written in his hand, and he did not seem optimistic. We do not know conclusively, but I would recommend that you prepare yourself for the worst news.
I prepare myself for anyone who enters that citadel to not come back. So, thanks for looking. Really appreciate it. Really do. Do you guys need anything while you're back in town? Bears. Ergi, you didn't look like. It looks like your armor held up this time around.
Fantastic. Thank you, Simeon.
Of course.
You got any extra weapons? You got any extra weapons lying around?
I specifically knives, things like that, or what are you looking for?
Clash, what are you got an arsenal, or is it just that glaive?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I got my glaive. I got a maul. Rummaged around in my pack. I got some little throwing axes. these registered weapons.
Simeon leans over to you, Karzan. Um,
Ergy's
not
giggling.
sure, not even sure I
Karzan,
want to know.
Actually, I'm going to say Karzan, perhaps for the first time since any of you have met him, chuckles.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
believe you all do it then.
he's with us. Ah,
I'm the new guy. Clash Gorgon.
He reaches up and his
Oh, he's
his dwarven. You see an older dwarven gentleman, big long black beard streaked with gray, uh, big beefy hands that are almost your hand size, same size as yours. But he grasps your hand. You can tell this guy he's done a lot of physical labor recently.
Is it like Arnold Schwarzenegger and what's his name handshake, where just muscles bulging, gripping? Is he that kind of strong? Or...
Kind of, except for he's 4 feet shorter than you.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
a dwarf. He's stocky.
He's pretty stocky, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Just so you know, Flash.
You said there was only 4, so there's a 5th member of the party, or I guess 6th member of the party, or
I am not insane enough to go into the castle. Good luck.
luckily I
Yeah.
am.
This one here, though, Clash, is as far as small town blacksmiths go, a true master. If you need any work done, he's your man.
All right, fantastic.
That was kind of you, Kyle. Thank you. So he kind of gets a little embarrassed. It's weird seeing him embarrassed because he's not normally fazed by things like this. But he bids you all a good evening, and he heads off to get something to drink. So, as the evening progresses, is there anything else you guys wanted to do, discuss, or?
Bash, do you have
Oh, when
money
are
to
we?
stay at the inn?
Depends on how expensive it is. How long are we staying?
Do we pay?
And is there a
Do we pay anymore? Out of character.
You all don't, no. But Clash, if you go and ask the halfling barkeep, he says it's 5 silver per night.
5 silver per night? And that is how much gold for, we're gonna look over the party, a week, a month, a year, 2 days. Trying to gauge how long it is.
I'd pay by the day if I were you.
Just
5
in
silver.
case you die.
I only have gold. Do you have change?
Yeah, of course, of course.
I'm gonna give him I don't know, let's say 5 gold to turn into change for me. So I can have some silver.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
are we
gives him
going
5
back tomorrow?
silver a night, so we're done. Yeah.
I
Sounds reasonable.
I could be ready for tomorrow.
Definitely gonna want someone to pick up that flour at the shop. As much as I'd
Do
hate
we-
to waste it.
Do we have any goods that we need to take some time to prepare within the golden vein? New items that we came into possession of, things like that.
I mean, Yeah, we got some gemstones for sure. We have a good amount of diamonds, but we could probably just sell gemstones to
Horse
the
head.
horse head.
Like a talking horse head that
Yeah.
buys gems? I'm intrigued.
Roughly
No.
as reliable, yes.
Magic is so cool.
I suppose you could say that.
In reality, it is a general store owned by our friends' rivals.
And they're talking horse heads.
Yes.
No.
Excellent.
Sometimes.
Well, I'm going to
Um,
patrol, get a vibe for the place. And need me to pick up any groceries while I'm out? Or
I tend to just use Marlin's kitchen,
I don't know who that is.
the halfling barkeep.
Marvin. Got it.
I got it right for once.
He did get it right.
All right.
But honestly, it fits.
Carson will head home.
well, no, before
Before.
Nix is gonna wanna ask like once Clash walks away. I'm not trying to get it back, but we gotta do something about that thing that we kind of
Right,
fought
where is
over.
that? Who you still have it, Cal?
I have hidden it in the most secure place I know of.
Does my detect magic see it on him?
It is not on my person.
Oh. I'm fine with that.
Okay,
Sounds good.
none of us using that anymore. I hope.
I would not recommend any of us using it for the foreseeable future. Keeping it on our person, though, actually might be important because we haven't actually used it for anything now, have we? It might be a door it unlocks.
If we need it, I know how to get to it easily and quickly. When we head to the Citadel, we can talk about whether we want to bring it.
Not to attune to it, but certainly to potentially just use it as a key if the need arises.
Clash moseys back in right about here and says, "Wait a minute. There were some hooligans you said that I had to stop from getting to you. Do you have descriptions so I can find them while I'm wandering?"
I point at Nyx.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one.
Looks like he was the one.
He was looking for an item that I had on my person, and it was of crucial import that he not get that item. I no longer have that item on my person, and so it is no longer an issue.
Okay. Any other hooligans in town I can should keep an eye out for and or pursue and or actively search for?
All right,
If
so Carson immediately interrupts you. 1 second. I need to pull up my notes.
I think we might be going for the same idea, so that's fine.
Oh, we might. So there's this tiefling.
Mm.
Real fancy looking type.
Mhm.
Whenever he comes around, don't even talk to him.
Like cold shoulder, like
Absolutely.
Or
1,000,000%.
yeah. Okay.
I give him a
Any
good description of Xandervelt.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And you're not asking me to like rough him up or anything. Do you want me to rough him up? I could.
If he roughs you up first,
like shoulder bump in the hallway kind of rough up, or
How about you
No.
reciprocate action?
I can do that. And immediately I just walk out the tavern.
I was gonna go with the owners of the horse head, but that works. Uh,
All right.
So I'm gonna do a patrol, get a feel of the town, and then I'll go sleep off this exhaustion, hopefully.
The night progresses. You do a loop around the town. It's relatively small. At least the lit portions of it is relatively small. A couple of things of note. You see a stone obelisk, a pillar, with dozens of candles surrounding it at the base of it.
That
From
item
the
4
yeah,
on the map.
from the
Okay.
candlelight, you notice names etched into it, and around the candles you see different symbols, necklaces, coins, each with a different symbol on it, different icon. Nothing you would really recognize, I don't think, at this point. You see a semi-run-down building with a sign hanging out front that has the Golden Vein written on it. You see a building with a horse's head, the sign of a horse's head, not an actual horse's head, but the sign shaped in a horse's head hanging in front of it, which
We
you
definitely got a peek in the window of that place.
looks to be a general store.
No floating, talking horse heads.
No floating talking horse heads. Nope. Although you do see some light in one of the back rooms and some shadows moving back and forth.
Okay. Got my
Uh,
eye on you, horse head place. I'll keep moseying.
you see a very rundown and long abandoned building, actually right next to the hidden stash. That just says in very faded lettering. Where is?
Ooh.
Oh, Miners Exchange.
Okay.
And that's really all of note. The rest is just residential buildings, homes. Again, a lot of them abandoned. You see two roads heading to the north, one on the east side of the river, one on the west side, and then a road heading south, out of town.
There's a graveyard
Do
too,
I?
isn't there?
Huh?
Is that?
There's a graveyard too, isn't there?
Using my background feature, Watcher's Eye, do I catch any vibes of crime dens, places that are a little shady, and or law enforcement buildings of any type to maintain the peace here?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Bo, 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 insight. Boop.
You don't see any gambling dens. You don't see any places of ill repute. The only thing that seems a bit off is the thing that's blocking out the moon and the stars, looming above on the top of the mountain, a massive citadel.
That's the Citadel.
And you can tell the difference between the jagged edges of the mountain and the smooth, straight edges of the castle itself. But it is nothing but shadow at this point in time. No lights in it at all. And the only official building you see is more of a nicer, yeah, right where was that Tim? I can tell. Right where Tim marked right there. It's a looks more like an office building than anything else.
Okay.
It has no signage on it.
But it gives off the vibe.
It gives off the vibe of an official building.
Got it.
One of them official types.
File that away for later in my mind palace. And I head for sleep.
Rest of you thinking over the last day.
Bed.
What's up, Ergy?
I just said go to bed. Go sleep.
Thinking of what just happened, the rush down the hill, the absolute nightmare that was the caverns you traversed. A bit anxious in your own ways to head back in, to do all of that over again, see whatever hellish horrors Deepfrost Citadel has for you tomorrow. You all fall asleep with that in mind. Well, all but Clash, who falls asleep with a stupid grin on his face.
As he does. As he does.
Does. I think that is where we're going to end tonight.
All right.
Okay.
Welcome, Ryan.
Thank
And
you.
then back.
I'll say before Karzan goes to bed, he'll pull out his own hidden compartment that he has. Opens up a chest, and it contains photos. And as he drinks a bit from his private reserve, he's going to view some of those photos in private. It's my little end narration for Karzan. Maybe not photos, drawings, I guess, would be the better accurate term. Papers.
Yeah, there could be old photos, long exposure photos. But either way, you all rest. I hope you guys have a good night's sleep tonight.
You too.
Thanks for the session, guys.
Yeah, that was fun.
Thanks, Josh.
Chaotic and
You used the scroll. It's good. It worked. And I'm happy about that. I didn't have to wait 24 hours by separating Cal and Nyx for 24 hours.
Yeah.
That was the good part.
that was insane.
I was so ready to be dead.
How low did you get on health?
7
Woo!
Wow.
out of
Yeesh.
31. I took the intentional cliff, and then the accidental cliff happened, and then Clash landed on my head, and those 3 events added together were not kind.
Well,
Imagine the scene
just-
where Flash
And-
lands on your head and you're knocked out.
They just straight up. You know,
I
I'd have no way to stabilize them.
I was legitimately concerned that might happen. Yeah.
I will say, you are a bit lucky that we ended where we did. Because the next zone, the next area, was going to be if you were running through it by yourself. There was going to be some wildlife issues.
Oh my.
Like wolf attacks.
Like wolf attacks and potentially bears. A bear.
I think
The
I
one
could have handled the
swords.
wolves without much problem, but I think the bears would have caused that would have been an issue. I've got
Yeah.
high AC and I've got daggers that hurt a lot. I think I could chase off some wolves.
All right.
Well, you guys have a good night, and
See ya.
we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.